Fellow Clueless gamers, welcome back for the 8th edition of your Cluecast. It is your boy Nemesis or Travis Crawford, joined by my friend Luke Carr17 or Luke Carmichael. Luke, buddy, what you been playing this week?
Well, just to let you know, I've been playing what we're going to be talking about this week. The Division Beta, which is sadly gone, but that's what I've been playing.
Yeah, it was so short, that beta. It was only, we got to play it for 2 days, it seemed like.
2 days, but we played it for almost like 15 or 16, maybe 17 hours of gameplay in the 2 days.
Saturday, we hit her pretty hard, didn't we?
We played the game for like 10 hours straight in person
awesome.
with each other. It was the best. What about you? What have you been playing this week other than that?
I mean, that's how I basically last weekend started off with the Division and been enjoying a little bit of Iron Banner in Destiny and playing a little bit of Arena in Black Ops 3 when I can with my friends. And other than that, it's been all about the Division.
The Division, man. Oh, it's so good. So that actually brings us to what we're talking about tonight, fellas and ladies and babies. We're gonna
Clueless people.
The Division beta. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get in depth about what we liked, what we didn't like, some cool moments we had, and obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can see a lot of gameplay. And we're even gonna show you the infamous Liberator that we grinded really hard to get, which we should have had like 58 times, but we'll talk about that when we get to the PvP section.
We were a little bit late to the party on figuring out how to save up those DZ funds, but stay tuned, listen to the end, and we'll tell you how to do it.
Yes. So I guess I can just give a quick description. We've talked a lot about not Destiny, about the Division. The Division is a game, and there's this giant virus. It's like a virus that was unleashed by the government that goes through New York City, and you're in a agency called the Division, and basically you're trying to take New York back because it's full and riddled of snow, dogs, innocent people, and then a whole bunch of gangs of people that are bad.
Dogs. It's so true. There's so many dogs.
There's a lot of dogs.
Except in the dark zone. There's 0 doggies in the dark zone.
No dogs in the dark zone for some reason.
Confirmed.
No dogs
by
in the dark zone.
By us.
So, yes, that's the quickest way. If you're listening, you probably already know stuff about this. So
yeah, and if you're listening and you've heard us talk about the Division beta before, the difference is this time around, last time it was a closed beta, which basically means people with beta keys, which are codes to access the closed beta, or people that just had the game pre-ordered were the only ones able to access it. But this time around, it was available to everybody on PlayStation Network.
Yes, which is awesome. We all got to play it, and it was kind of unexpected. I didn't really expect that to happen because you had to pre-order it to get the closed beta. So I'm like, well, they're obviously not going to make an open beta then, probably, because then that kind of poops on the people's faces who just pre-ordered it just to play the beta. So, but anyways.
Yeah, all it did, though, I mean, in my opinion, I think it just generated more hype for the launch.
Did you see 6 million people played the beta?
6.4 million people I saw on Ubisoft's Twitter.
That's a lot of people for a beta in 2 days.
Which is impressive and goes to show how well a dedicated server could be for other games out there. Cough, cough, Call of Duty, whatever. Those servers handled that really well, and it was supposed to be a beta. Betas, I mean, some people are, our buddy Shugdot, he experienced a couple glitches. We experienced a couple glitches, like people shooting us from across the map with a shotgun, through walls. But that's besides the point. It's the beta. It's supposed to be buggy. It's supposed to be glitchy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really glitchy.
It's generally just to withstand the force of a bunch of people on it and see how things hold up.
And it did a good stinking job. There was only one time we had trouble, and it was like everyone looked like they were running in place. That's basically the only.
I don't know what it looked like I was doing. It straight looked like I was just like planking vertically but moving.
Yes.
That's the best way I could explain it.
You were hovering around. It was funny at one point. There was people's guns were 20 feet above their head and but connected to their body as they ran around.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about 3 different areas of this just to make it simple. We're going to talk about the player versus environment, which is PvE, player versus player, which is PvP. And then we're going to give you some of our thoughts on our riffs, our rafts, just kidding, just the things we liked, things we didn't like, and some cool moments we had, because I definitely found myself going, oh, snap, like a whole bunch of times. So, yes.
Yeah, there were a couple times things got pretty hilarious and frustrating.
Yes.
To be honest. And
it went
I
from
think
0 to 100 sometimes real quick.
Yeah. I could see the look on your face. You're like, oh, I'm going to break my controller.
Yeah, I was getting some of my anger problems back there at the end, but that was just...
It was great, but you ended up getting what you were after at the end of the game.
Yep, same to you. So, PvE. So there was 2 missions. In the closed beta, there was 1 mission that you got to play. In the and it's in Madison Square Garden. It's like it's changed into a hospital. So we played that mission, and then there's another mission underground with guys with flamethrowers and stuff. That was the new mission that they added. And then there was a bunch of side missions, but we didn't do all of them because we were stuck in the dark zone the whole time, pretty much.
Well, stuck willingly.
Willingly stuck. We weren't like the doors didn't get locked, which would be cool. They should have done that.
That would be crazy.
You're literally stuck. You're not getting out. You have to stay there for days. You gotta have a camp. No, I'm just kidding. But so it was cool at first because, I mean, I didn't know what to expect. Like I was like, well, how does this work? You know what I mean? So it just
that's an interesting perspective because you did not get a chance to play the closed beta. So you were definitely coming into this open beta fresh and ready to see what the division had to offer.
Super fresh. Like I was so ready, and like immediately, like you get off a helicopter at the beginning, I was like, The gameplay is exactly what I would have thought it was. It's kind of like it felt right. Like I was excited. I get excited to play it just to see my character running around. And I know that's stupid, but I know some people are like that. Like it just feels nice. Like I was all about the fashion. I wanted to get a cool hat. I wanted to get the cool...
Your trendy cardigans and your trendy shoes.
I was like, stop being like, we were like on our way to a mission or something. And I'd be like, oh, this apartment's open. Let me go look in there so I could find some clothes and steal people's clothes.
Let's be real though. Every time it started snowing, you're like, all right, snow's accumulating.
I was so pumped about that. And like, it's true. But this is the thing that's kind of depressing. So the original Snowdrop engine that came out is supposed to have, really, really vivid snowfall. Like the snowfall looks the same. The accumulation, which it's basically just changing the color of the ground. It's just different shaders to the ground. They're there. So like there's parts where like parts that aren't snowy when it's light out do get snowy when it snows a lot, but it's not like completely snowed over. And there's parts of snow that stick there and they just always stay there. They don't melt. And originally they said the stuff was going to melt, but I think that's just stuff that they, may have had to take out to make this as smooth as it is, because, man, this is a smooth game.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, as we were walking around and doing these missions, like, the cover system's so great. Like, the map is so detailed, like, that you can take cover behind everything, and it doesn't feel unnecessary. It doesn't feel like the stuff's there for you to take cover. It feels like it'd be there in real life, and you're just standing behind it type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and in talking about the environment, we're talking about player versus environment, story, whatever. That can well, hold on to that thought. But what I'm thinking, as somebody that was a participant of the closed beta, is I got to see the opening cutscene for both. Mm-hmm. And I have an appreciation that they kept it shorter this time around. I felt like it was shorter. Basically, they cut bits and pieces out of the dialogue for this beta, and just it was a nice touch. Also, I felt like the weather patterns were definitely more severe. Mm-hmm. In the closed beta, it was, for the most part, it was clear. I don't remember ever having issues seeing. But it got to the point where if you were in the dark zone and there were people shooting at you through that snow,
couldn't see.
Like, you literally cannot see. It doesn't matter if you zoom in with a sniper rifle or not. You can't see.
Yeah.
And with improvement like that, from closed beta to open beta, it makes me excited for what we could see or could potentially see from open beta to launch.
Yeah, to full launch. Because some of these things that aren't in the game, like the actual snow, like the snow shaders on the ground, like the full capacity of what that is, that could be in the final game. They could have just wanted the beta to like run really smooth, or graphical changes. There's always possibilities for enhancements. There's always possibilities for going down graphically as well. Along with, like, here's an example. This is something that kind of bothered me. Like, anytime I went up to a window or something, or a clear, like, thing where you could typically, you'd see a reflection, there's no reflection. It's like Watch Dogs. There's no reflection ever in anything. It's like you're invisible. You're a vampire. No one sees you. Those are
that's something I would not have even picked up on. It's something that I don't look for.
Yeah,
basically, when I'm playing through this, and just the 2 story missions, the main quests that were available to us, one of which I'd played repeatedly in the closed beta, and then they expected me to come back and play it repeatedly again in the open beta. I'm basically going to hate my life when it comes to that mission in the full launch of the game.
I'm going to be like, oh, we got to freaking... Maybe that mission won't be in there. Maybe that's later.
I hope it won't be in there.
I'm kind of hoping that there's more to the beginning. Like, there wasn't, like, not a lot of... I mean, there was a plot, which is huge. Like, we know what we're doing.
Well, see,
we're making the city better. We're, like, taking it back because you're in your base and you're basically rebuilding. Kind of like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was, where you rebuilt Rome.
Yeah, but see, I agree and disagree. This is a nice conversation here because I would argue that in the closed beta, there was no plot. Like, you just drop in and you're doing work for people. They're patting you on the back, division agent, you're awesome, blah, blah, blah. And you don't really see much improvement in your base of operations. You don't really see how it's helping people. So it literally just feels pointless. Mm-hmm. And the story mission, although it gives you a clear cut and dry beginning, middle, end to the mission, and once you're accomplished, you unlock a character who you can talk to and is the head of the medical wing. That's great and all, but no plot was really introduced. And in this open beta, I believe there was a cutscene after the second mission that became available where the head of tech, I believe, is that who we rescued? Yeah, he basically dropped in a little hint bomb that he speculated the division was kind of shady, and that to me is the first piece of plot in the game. Like, you're helping them, but they're shady. They're suspicious of you being shady.
Yeah.
And I think that that's going to provide a little bit of plot and depth to the story. Because as of right now, I'm not saying I have a dislike for what the game has to offer, but I'm just saying I'm not playing it for the story or a plot line as of right now. I'm playing it for the grind and to upgrade that thing and see what I can unlock in the future.
Mm-hmm. And I'm, like, pumped because, like, we're used to, like, games not having a great plot right now. Like we've talked about stories declining. I'm pumped to know that there's going to be some sort of overall goal. Like, I cannot wait to get all those different, like, so there's, like, there's the different wings, like the medical wing, the tech wing, the electrical wing, all that stuff. I'm pumped to go out and do missions and get gear and get the supplies you need to build that place up because it visually changes. Like, in the trailer, it shows your central base visually change and more people go there and it gets nicer as you continually upgrade it. And I think that's going to be cool. I'm also excited because, like he said, like, there's been division agents missing, the tech guys, like, and there's side missions in the final game where you go and you find division agents who have been stolen or taken, and I think we'll probably figure out, like, what's going on with the division. Like, what, I mean, who knows? What if the division's part of the big issue? I mean,
yeah, and I do look forward to that. And honestly, what I was hoping for with this open beta that we just played was maybe a second mission for the medical wing, for the person in the medical wing. Mm-hmm. Because I would like to see a little bit of character development. I'd like to see relationships build between you and the person in the medical wing. Because I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that I doubt that's our last mission for the lady in the medical wing. As I doubt it's the last mission. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see on how that goes. I live and hope that the full game doesn't just... You go talk to them, you go do this. You go talk to them, you do this. You go talk to them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I hope that's
endless,
not all it is, yeah.
The endless repetitive loop. But at the end of the day, from what we can tell with the beta and the improvements we've seen from beta to beta, I think once the full game launches, the PvE aspect of the division is going to have a lot to offer in terms of side missions, encounters, and main missions.
Yeah, the side missions felt just as cool as the main missions. I mean, I literally, like, just pressed square on this one thing, and then it led me to another thing, then it led me to this one place, then it led me to a like open window up on this thing, and then I went in this apartment, and then I went upstairs and I found the person that I was trying to find, and it gave me like XP. I was like, okay, cool. That was, I mean, it didn't feel like a side mission. It felt like I was doing a mission. So the thing that I'm scared about is with player versus environment. I'm really scared that it's just like they just put a lot into like a few missions, and it's like a really short, small campaign that is like not all the way there, but they're like showing most of it now, type of thing. Like I hope there's a lot more to it than
I totally agree. Please don't give us another freaking game where we have to look up the story online.
I don't want to do that. I play video games so I don't have to read stuff. I play them so I can just listen and watch myself. So,
yep.
All right, well, let's talk about PvP. Probably my favorite part about this game.
And I would argue that it is a lot of people's favorite part of the Division thus far.
AKA something that is like groundbreaking, it feels like. I mean, maybe not. Maybe we're just dumb and don't have a better knowledge of other games. But like, I don't remember ever playing or hearing of a game like this. So they're player versus player, the PvE or the PvP, the multiplayer is in a place. It's only in a place called the Dark Zone. And the Dark Zone is where the virus hit hardest. It's in the middle of Manhattan, you know, like where Times Square and stuff is. And it's divided into different sections based on what Dark Zone level you are. So there's player versus everything, PvE level, which capped at 8, and then there's your PvP level, which is it's your Dark Zone level. It capped at 12. So, oh my gosh, dude, it was so cool in there. Like, so you go in basically, and you can go in with your friends, and it's just you and a whole bunch of other players and a whole bunch of ads, and it's kind of like a playground. Like, it's like just good luck.
It literally is like a playground in some sense, and it's an unsupervised playground where freaking bullies can be freaking bullies.
Mm-hmm. You can be bullies, you can be nice, you can be calm, you can be not seen, you can be an assassin. There's like a million things to do in there, man, and that's like explain the system for leveling, like how it works, because it's a lot different than most games.
What do you mean?
Leveling in the Dark Zone, like when you die.
I mean, yeah, when you die, it depends on whether or not you've died as a rogue or not, but you always lose some amount of XP to a degree to your Dark Zone rank, which makes your life feel more valuable. Arguably, what is even more valuable to lose than that XP to me was those precious Dark Zone funds when you're trying to save up for an awesome piece of gear that's only available with Dark Zone funds.
Yes. So there was funds in there that you could use at different vendors, kind of like Destiny. Like there's the vendors in Destiny, but you used just these Dark Zone funds that came from killing people, opening chests. It was in a substantially large amount of money to get the specialist guns, which are like exotic guns, basically.
Yeah, I think they are referred to as high end on
high end. Sorry, yeah, purple specialist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, man, it got pretty scary in there. Like, basically you're going in, and you can go in with 4 players, and you go in, and you can all be best friends, or you could literally turn on anybody around there. Like, you could meet up with, like, 3 other players that aren't in your party, and then get some gear, and then they didn't actually get any gear, but they want your gear, and whenever you get gear, it's contaminated, so you have to go to these extraction points, and this helicopter comes and you send them out, and then it puts it to your stash at the main base. Basically they're taking it and sanitizing it. So these guys, if you just roll up with some random guys right before you're about to extract it, they could literally blow you up, kill you, take your gear, because you hold gear when you can hold 6 things of gear when you're in the Dark Zone until you extract it. If you die, you drop all that gear. So if you had some sick gear and you get ambushed by a bunch of ads or ambushed by a bunch of other players in the subway or something, they can just take your gear. It's ruthless, man. And that happened to us several times, but at the very end, we did that to some people just because we wanted to give it a try to see how it felt.
Well, after we unlocked the Liberator, we did it because we could, and there's nothing anybody could say to us about it. Which, I mean, weapon balancing is something we'll come to to know deeply, I'm sure, once the full game is launched.
Oh yeah, this is definitely gonna be a big weapon balance game. I
Yeah,
can see.
but with the beta, that Liberator was OP. If you got within range where you could just let that thing open on somebody without missing, you would literally put them down with one magazine.
Yeah, it was insane. Because at the end, me and Travis both got it. That's what we were grinding for. We were grinding to get this, the best gun in the beta. It's like what you're just trying to get to. We basically played the beta so much that we were hitting an endpoint. Our drops that we were getting in the Dark Zone, which the best drops come from the Dark Zone. But the drops were just not going any higher. It was just like, all right, you peaked pretty much. So we wanted to get this gun. It had like 4,200 DPS, which was stupid awesome.
Yeah, mine when I unlocked it, because I already had like a high damage per second build on my character. It was literally 4,900 when I unlocked this thing.
It's insane.
It was huge damage. My second best gun that I unlocked via a just random drop in the Dark Zone was like 3,400. And that was like a police M4 specialized. It was a blue.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did not get a single purple gun.
You didn't get one? I bought one. I bought it was like a classic AK-47, and it was at one of the vendors. And that's the cool thing. The vendors, they change like all the time. Like I went one time and I wanted this pistol. When I came back later, and the pistol was gone because I didn't get it. And there's like there's vendors at each of the entrances, and then there is like that secret vendor who sells the high-end guns inside the Dark Zone. And it's kind of like a safe house. You can go there and restock, and that's a place that we kind of came very familiar with if we were getting scared or whatever, or we needed to go see if we could buy it with our DZ funds. So it was great. And let's talk about going rogue. So if you start shooting at another player who's in there with you, you go rogue, and that puts a target on your head basically. And it starts at like,
yeah, and people get XP and DZ funds for killing you once you're rogue,
like 300, and then they can take all your DZ funds that you dropped, so you can potentially get a lot of money. So if someone's rogue around you and you see them, you're gonna die. If you're rogue and you're around a bunch of other players, you're gonna die, especially if you're by yourself. So me and Travis and a couple other guys we played with like 4 guys at like all times. So it was fun. And if like we went rogue, we all just split up, and it was like the worst because one of us.
Oh yeah, we literally scattered, but somebody was the slow person that had to get eaten by the bear.
And it was typically me, but that's okay.
Oh god.
I would always.
It's so ruthless though. Even with 4 people, if you become rogue and you're not ready to be rogue, or you didn't intentionally go rogue, like you didn't communicate with your group, hey, let's shoot this guy and take his stuff. People actually run in front of you. We did this to other people too.
Yeah.
While they were engaging some ads or NPCs, whatever you want to call it, in the Dark Zone, we'd sort of run in front of their guns and, you shot me in my shoulder. Oh, you're rogue.
You're rogue.
We'd literally force people to
them.
go rogue and gang up on them. We'd literally work together to make that happen. It's kind of cool that you have the power to do that in a game like this.
And it felt so cool because we would just be rolling around in a group. Like, we didn't have, like, a goal. We were just walking around. And, like, stuff just happens. I mean, ads pop up. You can go down in the bait in this thing. Or you can run around. Or there's a blizzard and you're just trying to get around. Or you want to go extract stuff. There's always stuff to do. Like, it blew my mind how much we were able to play.
At face value, it doesn't seem like there's that much stuff to do. It's like they put you in these walls and they say, okay, this is the Dark Zone. Go do stuff.
Yeah.
And if you look at it like that, it doesn't sound like there's much to do, but the players literally make it what it is for the most part.
It was like a social experiment, seeing what people did in there.
Let me ask you this. In terms of difficulty, not necessarily difficulty as a general term, but in terms of leveling up and how long it took you to get the Liberator, how would you say that was for you in a frame of mind of satisfaction? Was that satisfying to get that thing after that grind?
It was so satisfying, dude. Like, I was pumped to get that because we really had to have a strong strategy. I remember when me and you ended up being the last people playing out of our friends, and
yeah, we just wrote it off like we don't have a group of 4. We're just never going to get this thing.
Yeah, and we ended up getting it with just the 2 of us because we were being super strategic and like being careful and watching our back and going and resupplying, and it was It was fun. It felt good. I mean, I haven't been this addicted to a game or this pumped to play a game in a long time.
Yeah, it was a great time, and I'd have to agree with you. It was not easy to save up that amount of Dark Zone funds, and there were many setbacks. I could count at least 5 times where I was only 200 DZ funds away, and I'd get killed by a doucher, or I'd accidentally go rogue and get killed, and next thing you know, I'm $2,000 in the hole again.
Yep.
So that is awesome to me, that there's a level of difficulty there that's not changeable. You don't just go in and say, okay, I want easy mode or normal mode or hard mode. It's just difficult. What I am concerned with, though, is how difficult is this going to be with solo play. There's a lot of people out there that play solo and will play solo. I do believe there is matchmaking even for the Dark Zone. Like, you can actually, at the Hudson Bay camp or whatever it's called, you can actually go into matchmaking and get yourself a fire team or a group of agents. I personally did not test that out.
Same.
I know I should have tested it out for the sake of informing the clueless people like myself at the moment.
Yeah.
But I just hope that matchmaking's well enough that you can take somebody and just, there's an option for the solo player. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Because I played solo the first day on the Xbox, and it was not as fun as when I played with my friends, to be honest with you.
And that's a fact. That's just how it is. Ask Shane, Shugdot2814. He had a miserable time playing by himself.
Yeah.
And things immediately turned up for him whenever I joined his group, and things were a little bit easier. And we basically just tried to avoid the bullies with their liberators.
Yes.
Which, that in a way is sort of exhilarating in itself, is there is a level of fear. Like, you literally have to turn your head and run the other direction when you're by yourself.
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
scary,
pretty
man.
cool.
It's fun,
But,
though.
I mean, looking at the game as we played it in the beta form, we can tell that there's going to be plenty of things to do, and there's going to be a solid grind. But is it going to outlive that 2 to 3 weeks that it's going to take for us to dry up that content? What I'm questioning is endgame, I suppose.
Same.
And
that's one of my big beefs. We can talk about beefs now, like stuff that we definitely didn't
Yeah,
enjoy.
for sure. But with a game like this, we're having so much fun with it. We want to see this thing succeed. We want to see them do good. And we're seeing things positive in the direction Ubisoft's taking it, like the surveys they're sending out. I actually participated in a survey, and if you're listening to this right now, I suggest you take the survey too if you were a participant in the beta, because what that does is it helps them improve things, and you literally get to type in what you like and dislike and what you want to see more of in their survey. And I think that's really cool that they're taking their time out to improve things that we have to say. But other than that, wanting to see this game succeed, they in a way have to cater to the solo player, because all those people that have a miserable time playing solo, they're just going to quit. And the end game is not going to go anywhere with them. They're just not going to play it. They're not going to be interested because it won't be fun.
Yeah, because they won't be able to get. It'll be so hard for them unless they're just amazing. It'll be so hard for them to get through that end game content, like to get the Liberator, to get other high end weapons that are bound to come.
Yeah, and I'm sure there will be those star players out there that are really talented at the game. But I'm a realist type of guy. I'm pretty good at video games, but I realize I got a Liberator at 4,900 DPS. Guess what? 4 police M4s at 3,400 beat 5,000 DPS all day long. That's just how it is. A group working together is going to trump a player every time if they're working together.
Yep.
And that's
Especially
just
the
how
way
it is.
we work together at some points. We're like, all right, you get the flank. All right, you guys get cover in the front, and we'll get sniping in the back. It's
Literally,
like,
we had number 1 Bish sniping people, and it was working well for us for the most part, which is probably how he stayed alive, by the way.
Probably. That dude was
didn't
always,
catch that.
You know how he is. He's secretly sneaking to get himself everything, and
yeah,
we're like dying
we
for
go
him.
rogue. We go rogue, and he's playing back a half a mile away. And once we go rogue, he's already the farthest one away from all the people shooting, so he's good to go.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, it's great though, and it's strategic, and I think that's really cool. So, in terms of beefs, like you said, what do you think? What was your biggest beef? Because I know there was a couple times you were frustrated, and I saw you getting frustrated?
I was mainly frustrated because sometimes it could have just been glitches. Like sometimes we would go rogue. Like none of us shot anyone or remembered shooting someone. We'd go rogue, and then I'd be on my own. And like, I don't like the fact that if there's like 3 players, like you're pretty much gonna die. Like you don't have a chance. I had a couple of issues with the DZ funds, for instance. Like I kept getting like 1,500 XP gone just because I was dying, but I couldn't even...
So your beef is with the XP or the DZ funds?
Mine's like the way that it's set up. Like I think that it's right. I think they have DZ funds and XP set up right. Like where I think it's cool that if you die, you lose some. But I also think that you might be losing a bit much. Especially, I think this, but I mean, it's fine. I think you should have a consequence, but I think that it should be based on your death. Like, if you were alive for a super long time and you die, yes, go ahead, take 1,500 away. But if you, like, just got in and you die, like, within rapid, like, you die and then you die again on accident and then you die again.
Yeah, and when you go into a new Dark Zone universe or whatever you want to call it, a different instance of the Dark Zone, you don't even know what these people are doing. You don't know how they're playing. You don't know who you can trust, if you can trust anyone. I can definitely see that, and I agree in some ways that sometimes the penalty is harsh. I think what you said is one solution, but another solution that I'm thinking of would be, what if they gave you, like, we have a stash for loot. We have a stash for things you can wear, armor, guns, etc. Why can't you have like a little bank that you can store DZ funds?
Exactly.
Like you can max that bank out or whatever. But that is one way, like you're strategically saying, okay, I'm not comfortable carrying this amount of DZ funds in the Dark Zone, so I'm going to store it back in my stash.
Exactly.
And that way, once you're losing the same amount of money that we're losing right now, that's not so harsh, because it is harsh. It's brutal.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine playing solo. We would have never had Liberators if we had played solo.
No way.
As for the rank, there were several times you drop rank, wasn't there?
Yeah, I dropped rank almost. It was like I was 12, and then I was 11, and then I was halfway down to 11. Like, it was just like, I felt like I was putting a lot of time into it, and then like at the end, like just because dumb little things would happen, I was losing rank, but you guys weren't dying, and you guys were staying rank, and I was like feeling like I was getting not left behind because you guys were doing it. It was my own fault for dying, but at the same time, it was like, man, this is starting to discourage me. I don't really want to play anymore. Like,
yeah, I know. I caught you like that a couple times, and I don't know what it's going to be like once the full game launches or where the rank cap is going to be for the Dark Zone. But for an instance, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, the rank cap is 30 once the full game launches, but there's a really sick piece of gear that you can buy from a vendor once you hit rank 28. Mm-hmm. 1 step forward and 2 steps back all the way up to rank 28 is going to be so annoying.
It's going to be so annoying, man. We're going to be like, all right, I have enough DZ funds. Oh, crap, I'm not level 13, but I'm supposed to be to get this gun.
So what if they, like, I'm not saying that this is anything like Call of Duty, but in Call of Duty, in the arena, you have to win X amount of matches in a row to rank up. But once you rank up, you can lose however many matches you want, but you won't rank down. And here's an example. Say you're rank 2 with 1 star, which was 1 win. You have to get 3 wins in a row to hit rank 3. You won 2 maps, which puts you at 2 stars. So you're 1 win away from ranking up to 3. Right?
Yeah.
So from there, you can lose 1 map, boom, you're at a star. You lose another one, boom, you're at no stars. You lose a third, nothing happens. So the way that would work in the Dark Zone is you hit rank 12, you lose XP all the way till rank 12, 0 XP. Mm-hmm. And then it just can't go back any further. And I think that'd be a way to mitigate that frustration a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Oh, gosh,
that way
so nice.
You wouldn't literally drop an entire rank, because that would get frustrating in the grand scheme of things.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I'm just not. It could just be too because I'm not used to it. Like, there's not games out where you just drop rank because you lost.
Yeah, and what we're saying, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason why they would change things because we had a good time whether we like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
The frustrations make the successes the
Feel
success it is. It feels better because of the tough times. And
yeah, it was frustrating because it was hard. Literally, like that's what my beef. Because at some points it was too hard, and like that's not something that I should even really be complaining about. You know what I mean? Like it's a good thing that that's what I'm complaining about.
yeah, for sure.
What about you? Did you have any major beefs other than what you were just talking about?
I mean, other than the same thing I said in that video I made a while back. As long as they're taking care of weapon balancing, which there was no weapon balancing in the open beta, which I don't blame them for not tuning weapons at all. I just hope that they stay on top of weapon tuning and making sure to keep damage in check, keeping things somewhat fair. Mm-hmm. I realize that people are going to have higher DPS builds, and that's just how it is, or people are going to have higher health builds, which makes your high DPS feel worthless.
Yes.
That's cool, and I think that those type of decisions make this game what it's going to be. But people using exploits by using glitches to their advantage, like people shooting us through a wall across the map with a shotgun, is unacceptable.
Yeah, that's gonna have to be fixed, and I'm sure it will be because there's a lot of videos about it.
Yeah, in the closed beta, there were people that were invisible, and basically those are my only beefs, and I think those are things that are easily fixed.
I agree, 100%. 100%. Well, sweet, dude. Well, we are very excited for The Division. It comes out March 8th, 2016. I can't wait. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be in town when it first comes out. You will be, so you're going to go a little bit harder than me at first, but then when I get back, I'm going to just play for like 24 hours straight. So, thank you all for listening. Hey,
for those of you who stayed to the end of the video, Luke, you want to tell them how we got the Liberator? How we finally just took down those last, 3,000 DZ funds like it was nothing?
Very simple, everyone. So
it was very simple, and we kind of felt dumb for not knowing it. There
are keys, DZ keys, drop zone keys that you get from killing people, from killing ads, so there's drops. Well, there's DZ crates, chests, all
and they're
over.
Usually located around a boss of some sort,
so
like a named boss.
When you kill that boss, that chest becomes openable if you have a key. We both had keys, so we we went to one. Travis got 400. We both got 400 DZ DZ cash
funds. Yeah, DZ funds.
So then we were like, whoa. So we just started rolling around, and we were just getting 300 to 400 at every one we went to.
And at that point, we literally just said, okay, screw all these other people. We're just going to kill ads, work together, restock when we're getting low on ammo and med kits, and we're literally just going to farm these things. And that's how we got it done.
Mm-hmm. And we did.
It made life a lot smoother. Just avoid people, farm those DZ chests, and you'll have that high end gear in no time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was at 2,000 DZ funds, and I was had no hope. I was like, Travis, I'm not gonna get this. We kind of figured out this way. Travis got his real quick. I went from 2,000 to 6,500 in it was probably an hour.
It was not long, and the hardest, most annoying thing is figuring out where those bosses are going to spawn and if the chest is going to be openable there. But it made life a lot smoother, and we played different and avoided people. So yeah, we basically just quit losing money, and we was making all kinds.
Yeah, and it worked just great. So when the game comes out, take that advice, everybody, if you want to get lots of DZ funds, because that's what me and Travis are about to be doing. So
yeah, that'll do it. Thanks for staying till the end if you did.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We appreciate you. Give us some likes on the Facebook. Look us up. We're Clueless Gamers. Follow us and tweet at us at Clueless Gamers 2 on Twitter, and subscribe to us on YouTube and like our videos. We're just Clueless Gamers, and we're just trying to help you guys out. So thanks for listening. We appreciate it. I'm Luke Carr 17, and this is
Nemesis or Travis Crawford. Boom, in the video. Cut.
The end. Adios. Have a nice day. We love you. Goodbye.